I got it bad, and that ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Crying on the subway. But now everything is different. In my heart, I'm feeling dark blue. Alright, well, now we've notified the relevant authorities right there. I think Spaethiwa is out today. I'm not seeing Logic. I think he may be hungover too. What do we got right here? We got young George Washington, who says that he bought 70 sushi rolls today. And you know that's not bullshit, because he cannot tell a lie. 70 fucking sushi rolls. God, how many calories is that? Alright, let's find out. 225. Oh wait, that's probably just for 6, not for each individual piece. So it looks like it's about 50 calories a roll. So if we're doing that math right there, sounds like he has about 3,500 calories worth of sushi sitting right there. Medium sushi size with 2 other guys. Yeah, so it sounds like each of you is going to be coming away with like about half their nutrition for the day coming from that. There's a lot of sugar in fucking sushi. Like I didn't notice at the time, but yeah, like the thing that makes the rice sticky is like the addition of vinegar and sugar, and yeah, it's not as good for you as you might think. But I mean, fuck it, you know, like city's burning down, world's like in the shitter. Might as well have a good time, eat some fucking sushi. Yeah, I can't argue with you. That does sound pretty fucking great. I could probably throw down on 70 pieces of sushi by my lonesome if I were like in a real bad state, you know, just like fuck everything. Well, fortunately, I'm not too bad off. God, I had like had a few drinks with the show last night, and I'm fucking feeling it. I'm like hungover, not feeling spectacular. Got to disappoint somebody later today. Ugh, life ain't fair. Gloom and misery everywhere. Stormy weather. Since my man and I ain't together. Keeps raining all the time. Well, that's kind of a non sequitur. I know like 10 girls, but I don't own a Toyota Camry. The fuck is that supposed to mean? Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. I don't have any, I don't watch that television hardly at all. So I don't know what the fuck people are talking about half the time. Well, it's a Saturday morning, and that means that we have to edit a terse and unbearable dream sequence. No, it's probably not terse and unbearable, but it's probably pretty fucking creepy. So we just had maybe clock somebody with the butt of Lemon's gun. Ooh, that ain't so good. Yeah, so yesterday, like 2 of our main characters murdered somebody. Sarah might have murdered as many as 3 people. So we're really stepping it up in day 2 with the murdering. A little bit worried that, so in Sarah's case, I think that they're well justified. Like, she's kind of horrified by what's going on here. I feel like we might take another look at chapter 40 there and really make sure that we're doing the right thing. Also, hold on. That reminds me that, okay, yeah, so we were on chapter 40 yesterday. And then we'll be on chapter 41. Cool. What do we got right here? DB says that I should riot. I don't feel like rioting at the moment there. I feel like going back to bed. No, I've honestly, like, I'm just excited this morning. I'm gonna like cook up some spaghetti and then curl up into a wreck after I'm done with this editing. Yeah, I just have not slept well for the past 3 days or whatsoever, and I don't know why. But cook eggs buy refills. Do I do live streams to keep track of the story? Joke's on the people who stole a soda stream, because you have to... Who the fuck jacked a soda stream? I dated a woman that had one of those fucking soda streams. It always seemed a little ridiculous to me at the time. Because, like, looking at it, I'm, like, looking at the soda stream, and I'm like, yo, I can buy a 2 liter of club soda for 99 cents. You could do that at the time. Now it's probably like $8. But yeah, like, it just didn't make any fucking sense to me to buy the soda stream, but it made her happy, so I didn't fucking say anything. But yeah, and eventually it was covered with dust and sat in a corner. But it's not like I can point things. I have so much equipment sitting around this apartment, just fucking covered with dust sitting in a corner that I don't need. Yeah, honestly, it's the problem with kind of being a piece of shit. You can't point fingers at anybody. You're always guiltier of whatever you've done. But I digress. So let's take a look at the structure of Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady. As I think that maybe fizzy water makes you less hungry, keeps you coked up after the same coke shit. Does it make you less hungry? I drink a lot of seltzer when I'm trying to fucking lose weight. But it's mainly just so I don't drink like soda or whatever there. And I like carbonation in general. I've always been a fan. I remember in the military, some guy who was like a long distance runner was like, man, carbonation hurts your body. And at the time, I was like, all right, well, that guy probably knows what he's talking about because he's fucking running laps around me. But the more I think about it, the more, I guess, maybe it's carbolic acid that they use to make, I don't fucking know how things are carbonated, to tell you the truth. But it never occurred to me at the time. I'm like, wait a second, the basis for everything inside of me is carbon. What the fuck is going on right here? But I still have no idea whether or not carbonation is no good for you. I need a shower real bad. It just hit me. I haven't been wearing the same clothes for like 3 days straight, man. Coming apart at the seams. Yeah, I just hit like that critical mass where I'm like so filthy I don't even want to take a shower. God. Yeah, this is the insight into the life of a young internet author right here. Just the during that quarantine. So let's talk a little bit about the structure of this book here. So Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady is a linear narrative, and much more so now. It used to be there was some like time jumping around and so forth in the story. I don't usually like books where they jump around all over the fucking place in the time. And you have to be like, oh, this is happening 3 weeks ago, or oh, we're flashing back to this other thing that happened. A lot of people dig that kind of shit, and one thing that it can do is like break up the monotony of like events proceeding in an orderly fashion. But IMO, like I do so much better if I just write everything out linearly. And then I guess my hope was always that somebody would come through and be like, oh, let's change this up in the edit or flip these scenes around or some shit like that. That's never been the progression of time in writing has never been like a super strong point of mine. I think I do best in like short pieces where it's just like rapid and things just fucking happen, which makes sense because like most of my waking hours are spent like very in the moment. I don't think a lot about the past, and I don't believe that the future is ever going to come. So I'm pretty in the moment most of the time here. But would I be interested in writing a story of the 1960s in gang warfare? Well, it's going to have to wait a fucking second because we got 40 more days on this edit. And then I have 3 or 4 pieces that I want to write after that. And then we have another big-ass 700-page book that I could edit after that called Rapasaurus. So yeah, catch me in about 3 years. That's the thing about writers. Like you know somebody who like writes and you're like, oh, I got this idea for a story. But so do they. They have had numerous ideas for stories. Most of the people I know who are relatively prolific as I am are operating on a like 2 or 3 year backlog of the things that they want to write, just because writing is slow and ideas are fast. So anyhow, let's look a little bit at the structure of the story, if we can. So this is a linear narrative. It takes place, we have one day that's like the prelude, which includes events like Lemon meeting Maybe at the bar the very first time, And it also includes Kaiser Duchance murdering a homeless, or not really murdering, but definitely shooting in the forehead a homeless woman who is insane and has a knife. So those events happen in day 0. And then in day 1, day 1 is where we begin to have dreams. So basically, what happens is like during a whole course of a day, the narrative will jump around to the primary characters, being mostly Matthew Hausterlitz, Sarah Shiner, and Michael Maybe. Those 3 characters are where things tend to ping pong. You get some scenes that are mostly Lemon, although more of those later in the book. Lemon's more of a fixture than a character. But because he's kind of our narrator voice there, or everything is tinged through his perception, he gets a lot more airtime than he should for the number of chapters that he has. Enough that he should definitely be one of the 3 titular characters. So we have all that action going on in each of these days. And so far, it seems like each of those days is taking up like between 100 and 150 pages. Then at the end of each, we have a dream. And there must have been a dream on day 0. So the dream shows the progression of the antagonist for this series, Kaiser Duchance, as he sort of swells up with power, feeding on the sins and the negative energy of the city, kind of like that weird painting dude in Ghostbusters. So people ask if I write because it's therapeutic. No, honestly, even though like I look less overjoyed during these editing streams, because editing is not writing. Editing is kind of like the work part of writing. You can still see me having a good time here. I just really like doing this. I've always liked doing this. It's the thing that I'm looking forward to when I'm going to bed. I'm waking up excited to do this every day, even if I'm like slightly hungover for my own on my own goddamn fault. Yeah, I have always loved this kind of writing, and it took a long time to get to where I felt good enough at it that I could get the ideas out that I wanted to, and it's just been the most rewarding thing in my life. And there's no artifice there. That's not like the build up to a joke. It's just I wish everybody had something they could do where they found as much purpose and meaning out of it as I feel with this. In fact, I feel like so dedicated to this that it really kind of eclipses a lot of the other things in my life. Like I don't, anytime that I have a job or something like that, it's just, you know, me going through the motions so I can keep writing. Right to avoid blacks. No, I like black people. Like really and truly, I'm like a fan in general. I like living in black neighborhoods. I like black food. I like black music. Dated like a bunch of black women. They're dope. Yeah, I think most of the people who are like black people, you know, they don't have enough black friends. They haven't been involved in like enough like black activities. They just see the kind of shady fringe of the whole thing, which is that yeah, people are fucking wilding out because they're poor. And there's all this negativity associated with that. But by and large, fuck, yeah, you know, you know, and the problem is that like you can't get this across without like the vast amount of experience that it required to come to that conclusion. Like living in the fucking deep south and just over and over and over again having interactions with people, and eventually like filtering out the negative interactions and taking like an objective look and just being like, yeah, you know, like racism generally is nonsense. There are definitely like some stereotypes that do apply. There are reasons why people are afraid of certain things. You know, like it's not like it comes out of nowhere, right? Like a lot of that tribalism is rooted in, but for the most part, that shit is just a sideshow. Like people are much more alike than they are different. The minor like cultural differences between people don't matter. Like yeah, I mean we've developed in different regions of the world, so definitely we have different propensities and different whatever. But ultimately, in the final analysis, none of that shit fucking matters. You know, everybody's just about the same in most of the fundamental and important ways, and Like if you're like, oh, these are the ones that are fucking up and so forth, probably you're overlooking all the ways in which you're fucking up. Just putting it out there. What? Let me see. So George Washington says, I'm sure the civilized blacks, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Living in a white picket fence life. You know, we're all fucking civilized. Everybody has been civilized. Like people living in a mud hut in Kenya are civilized. They're just working with a different level of technology. Like civilization just means specialization of labor, and all these people are doing that. You know, like even the fucking Sentinelese are civilized in their own way when they're murdering everybody that comes to their island and devouring them. Hell yeah, gangsta fucking. I love that guy went over there to fucking proselytize, and they're just like, okay, and they fucking murder him. Those are some G's right there. Honestly, it makes me want to go to the Sentinel Islands myself and just check these people out because they're so gangsta, but then they would just murder me too. Because that's what the Sentinelese are all about. Hell yeah. Anyhow, where was I fucking getting with all this? So yeah, that's my view on racial relations. Like what I've mostly seen for the most part is that just about any time somebody mentions race, it's as a tool to get power over somebody else. I just don't think that there are any fucking good actors involved in this whole thing. Like the whole riot and shit that's going down right now, it's pretty transparent to me that it's just people trying to shuffle power away from certain institutions and like shuffle money into their own hands and using public outcry as a mechanism to do it. And what you'll find when like the dust settles is like the new institutions that you replace the old institutions with will be just as fucking corrupt. It'll just be somebody else getting dicked over. Yeah, it's just, you know, that's what people are all about. Anyhow, that has very little to do with this. This is not a story about race for the most part. And I think largely as we've been going through it, we've been eliminating like a lot of elements of race in it. And I think, you know, I'm trying to think. I think there's only like one black character in this book, and it's Lemon's wife. And she's not a character, you know, she's just like something that's referred to as like kind of the butt of a joke that she won't put out as much as he wants her to until later. But yeah, it's a very white book for the most part. All of our main characters are white here in New York City. So, but I don't give a shit, you know. These are just characters to me. I don't care what color they are. Whew. Yeah, why do we have to get into all that bullshit early in the morning? Head's fucking hurting. All right. So this is chapter 41, The Third Dream. He took her down to Chinatown. The rich voice of Tizer Juchance. Oh, I don't know. All right. Let's take a look. All right. So he took her down to Chinatown. The madman's song rings through a stairwell strewn with trash and corpses. It echoes down a blood-stained hallway and through the door to the arcade, where 20 boys shudder at the sound. Some cling to walls and bury their faces in their shoulders. It echoes down the blood-stained hallway and through the doorway to the arcade, where 20 boys shudder at the sound. Some cling to walls and bury their faces in their shoulders. It's like doing this whole number. As if they could wince their way out of this world into somewhere safe. Let's just say wince their way out of this world. Others go limp, awaiting whatever horror or due chance has come to visit upon them. Alright, is that too stilted? The arcade machines are broken apart now. The Miss Pac-Man cat. Oh, wait, I think we changed. I think we changed Miss Pac-Man Galaga. The Galaga cabinet is flipped on its side to serve as a table. The Galaga cabinet is flipped on its side to act as a table. Lee Ho has been pressed into service with the soldering iron, threading wires into shining beads of molten metal. Threading wires into shining beads of molten metal. Alright, that kind of tracks. Alright. The arcade machines are broken apart now. The Galaga... Alright, let me... Hold on. We're at page 349. And let's go up to... Do we have another Galaga? Okay, just Galaga. We took out the Miss Pac-Man half of it. Cool. Galaga. Yeah, so that was the change that we made. It was just awkward to have it be a Miss Pac-Man / Galaga cabinet. Which I'm not sure that has ever been made either. I think there were definitely combo cabinets for Galaga, but I think they were like with something like Galaxian or fucking Dig Dug or something like that. Who made Galaga? Was it even Namco? It's definitely like we shouldn't. Like if Namco made fucking Miss Pac-Man and somebody else made Galaga. Hold on, let's find out this. Like the weird facts that we come up with here. So Galaga, yeah, it was put out by Midway. So it would have been another Midway game on it. So somebody rated Galaga 4.9 out of 5. And Galaga's 5. Oh, it was so Galaga was the sequel to Galaxian. I didn't know that. I did not know that at all. Fucking love Galaga. I play that shit all the time. All right. Good luck, George Washington. Thank you for leading us astray yet again. The Galaga cabinet is flipped on its side to act as a workbench. Lee Ho has been pressed into service with a soldering iron, threading wires into shining beads of molten metal. To his right, toothless Jerome is this... Smoke too much indica. God. What a world we're living in. So many decisions. No, wait, is Filipino capitalized? Let's find out. Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it's like an ethnic group. Broad racial terms. Black and white, no. Filipino is capitalized. Okay, cool. Okay. So I wonder how many people will pick up immediately on what they're fucking doing in this assembly line. Like, if you're in the chat and like watching this, so what do you think that they're doing with this soldering iron, this assembly line? So the assembly line is a guy taking apart wristwatches, a guy soldering shit together, and then at the end of the line there is a guy with a bunch of soda cans and nails, washers, screws, etc. I mean, to me, this is immediately. It doesn't take a fucking genius to figure out what's happening right here. But I wonder if there's any wonder at all for our readers. Inspectors. Well, you're high as fuck, so I don't expect you to solve this riddle quite so quickly. Nothing hurts as long as they don't touch some vintage factory or some shit. Well, good. So now I know that any of my readers who have not smoked a heroic amount of salvia will be wondering, like, what are they doing there? Well, there's like nonsense there. Are they putting together a Christmas present? Uh, so he took her down to Chinatown and showed her how to kick that gong around. Booming song echoes through the room in a wave of revulsion, and the hallway door flings open. His gleaming white smile sears them. His cold gray eyes bore through them. Everyone looks away. No one dares to meet that stare. They've made a terrible mistake. They're all cowards now. Everyone brave has been devoured. Two boys dared to stand up to the man in gray the first night, rushing him with a Swiss Army knife and a broken Jarritos bottle. He dismantled them. Let's make this to chance. I want... What, insurrectionist? Maybe include coronavirus. Shoutouts to Nico Sugano. Wow, how'd you find us here? Like viewing on Facebook. Just heads up, if I know you IRL, don't tell anybody. Don't say how. You'll see why later. Yeah, welcome to the stream right here. Yeah, we're on day 43 of editing this, and to my eye, we're better than halfway through it right there. So we're over the hurdle. And usually, just our Saturday morning streams are a little less intense than some of the others. So we can't include coronavirus because this occurs in 2006. And we've specified that it's 2006 because that's it's just based on what year Apple products come out, actually, which is kind of a little bit hinky. But so we're fucking out there. Instead of, let's dirge. Let's make it a dirge. H1N1. Did they have fucking swine flu in... Yeah, I'm sure it's been a while developing. What was I trying to look up here? Source.com for... I want a word for rebel. Insurgents, revolutionaries. They're like mutineers. Insurgents, subversives. Wow, this is not well... Revolters, nihilists, mutineers, anarchs, anarchists, frondeur. Oh, I don't know this one. They're like freedom fighters, resistors. What the fuck is a frondeur?
Frondeur.
Frondeur. Diana dismissed it with contempt as the shaft of a frondeur, discredited by both parties. Somebody asked, what's the worst food that I've ever had? Whatever the fuck gave me food poisoning. Okay. I ate something once that had me just throwing the fuck up for like 2 days straight, and I almost died from dehydration. I was camping at the time. Whatever the fuck that was. Just anything that gave you parasites is the worst food ever. Anything that you can choke down, like, and doesn't make you sick, it's not the worst food. The worst food has parasites in it. I guarantee it. Whew. What do we got here? Duchance's dirge echoes through the room in a wave of revulsion. Duchance's dirge echoes through the room in a wave of revulsion. used to study in a hospitality course and hated black people. Wow. He says that they were assholes and would not clean the dishes or make the quiches right. Oh, quiches. Quiche is spelled Q-U-I-C-H-E. Yeah, I don't, maybe it was something to do with you. Maybe they thought it was funny to fuck with you because they could tell that you hated them. What goes around does come around. Or maybe they're just fucking lazy. I don't know. A lot of students are lazy. They ruined my pastries. Oh, well, that's a fucking heartbreaker right there. That's just fucking bread. Who cares? I don't know. All right. Playing with knives. See, that kind of like persnickety behavior is how you don't get fucking laid in culinary school right there. I bet if you had just like, hey, check out this fucking cool knife trick and just started juggling some of those knives, you would have gotten some trim. But instead, you're just mad all the time about some fucking pastries that you weren't even going to eat in the first place. God damn. George Washington, you gotta lay off the fucking drugs, man. I'm not fucking telling you. You come in, like every time you come through here, you're like on a crazy. Wait, are you both doing some kind of amphetamine and marijuana? Is that what's happening here? Because I definitely detect a high degree of agitation in your chats, and I'm wondering if amphetamines could be the root cause. Are you like on Adderall or something? Because like your like stream of consciousness shit is like very frantic. And it's not in a way that I would expect merely marijuana to do. So I'm sounding. He got dumped by an ex. Not Adderall. It's Ritalin, right? Some stimulant has to be behind this flow of chatter. Okay, so I'm getting pretty good at it. One thing that I found is weird from like lots of time on IRC. Okay, so crystal meth, MDMA, and speed. That's where this is coming from. So from being on IRC for a long time, you start to like pick up what people are high on from the way that they're fucking chatting. Because a lot of people just like to get really high on OxyContin and then fucking chat all night long, and it's like a very distinctive style. I swear to God, I could be like a fucking social worker just from my time spent on internet relay chat. Oh. Wiling out right there. All right. But, yeah, I don't know. You're going to have to pay a price for all that shit. Some traces here and there. I was going to buy a gun, lol. Let me just go out on a fucking limb. I'm not one to tell people what to do with themselves. But, if your life involves methamphetamine in any aspect, your life will probably be longer the fewer guns that you have involved in it. Just a thought. I think if you're a heavy user of methamphetamine, having guns around is a pretty bad fucking idea. And I know it sounds like a good idea while you're on meth. Guns seem like super important while you're high on meth, but they're really not. Just about all the situations that you will find yourself using a gun in whilst on meth, unless you're actively creating meth, where you actually do need a gun to defend your meth supplies against the fucking revenuers and rival dealers and fucking Tuco Salamanca. But yeah, just about, if you want to take my advice, you probably, if doing meth is a large part of your life, and really doing any kind of drugs is a large part of your life, maybe don't have guns around. That's where people get into all the fucking trouble. Like heroin addicts aren't a problem. They just sit around and do heroin. But heroin addicts with guns are a huge fucking problem. Look no further than MPK. Look up Timothy Schmidt if you want to see what the fuck happens with that shit. I'll be cooking meth probably. I have 14 acres. Meth entity here, ask anything. Steal a tank from the California Military Armory. So he's going to be cooking methamphetamine on 14 acres in front of the Tigris River. Jesus. Well, do me a favor. When you're riding high on that meth money, don't forget to send a lot of it to me for safekeeping, so you can't smoke it all up. I'll do something good with it. You could bankroll some of my edits. I like that it all starts to make sense where I'm like, wait, is meth a factor in this fucking situation? All right, we got to get through this chapter, though. It's not too long. Du Chance's dirge echoes through the room in a wave of revulsion. All right, yeah, good luck. Some guy actually stole a tank from California. Was it like the riot tank or whatever thing? Yeah, I feel like it's a bad idea to let tanks fall into the hands of people who are rioting. But yeah, shout outs to that Grand Theft Auto type shit happening as we speak. That's wild. Du Chance's dirge echoes through the room in a wave of revulsion. The lost boys flinch as he boots open the hallway door. Making his 100th grand entrance of the night. His gleaming white smile sears them. His cold gray eyes bore through. His gleaming white smile sears their eyes, and his... Oh yeah, that's just... This line doesn't fucking work. Meth Tank Rampage, that's the title of the video by Count Dankula. Oh, I remember that shit. Yeah, like it was back in the day. Like, the ultimate is always going to be Killdozer. Hell yeah. Fucking pour one out for Big Killdozer. Love that guy. What do we got? No. And no. Okay, cool. Okay. His gleaming white smile sears and his gray eyes burrows deep. Mm. His gleaming white smile sears the room like an arc welder. His gray eyes burrow. His gleaming white smile sears the room like an arc welder, and his gray eyes burrow like augers. No one can face him. They've all made a terrible mistake. Only cowards remain. The brave have all been devoured. Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of the frondeur. I don't think secessionists, separatists, agitators, anarchists, antagonists. Heretic is kind of close. Oh, yeah, let's do traitors. Two boys dared to stand up to the man in gray the first night. This used to be a tamarindo Doritos bottle, but it was too much. What's something that you rip? What's something that you rip into? I'm looking for. Oh, shout out to Skip Donahue, right there. He's a fucking real one as always. Yeah, what's something that you like break in half? Like, hmm, hmm. Yeah, like your there's like a New Year's Eve cracker where you just like rip them apart, but that's not quite what we want. Duchance dismantled the traitors, pulling one apart like taffy and folding the other in half like origami. It's a little hokey. Hey, Skip Donahue. Yeah, I'm like a little worse for wear. Stayed up a little too late last night. Drank a little too much. You know, like the typical tortured Arthur bullshit. But I'm feeling okay now. We're doing. How do I not know how to spell origami? It's got an I. That's why. Whew. Chance dismantled both traitors, folding the first into origami and pulling the next apart like taffy. No one can forget the sound of tearing flesh and popping bone. Like every day for me, you mean, oh, good lord. Well, you don't want to do it every day. Moderation, man. Like once a week, I think is what I'm shooting for at the moment, right there. I think that's a reasonable amount for yours truly. Now, I keep meaning to send a email to my board game club to see if people want to meet in July, but I don't want to send it because I know the answer is no. Everybody's too pussy to come out. I mean, you know, it's fair. I don't want to catch some fucking virus and turn into a vegetable, but also sick of not having people around. I'm a total cliche. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Duchance dismantled the traitors, folding the first into origami and pulling the next apart like taffy. I really want to find a better. What's something that you would rip in half as you're eating it? Like some kind of fruit or something that you would rip into. Was that like trick where somebody will rip an apple in half? But that's not quite the same. I just have the idea of somebody like ripping apart a tamale and exposing like all this steaming rice and so forth, but instead it's him tearing this child in half. Well, if we can't make it happen, let's stick with taffy. But do it on the line. Yeah, yeah, it's a little extreme. When the horror was over, there wasn't a single drop of blood on the man in gray, though the floor was like a slaughterhouse and the lost boys were spattered with gore, wide-eyed and unable to look away. Hidey, 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 hidey. Rotisserie chicken, like a phone book? Uh, huh. Yeah, I just there is some kind of food that involves ripping it in half and devouring the gooey mass within, but I just can't think of it. Holy, 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 holy. Mm. Let me see. Uh, I'm clutching, I know, but I want to help. Pizza Pocket? I don't think a Hot Pocket uh, is really where we want to be at here. Let me see. Mm. The ones who didn't make it lie rotting in the flooded stairwell, the stench of putrefaction cut by the... The building superintendent is in the pit now, too. There's a splotch on the stairwell where he's rammed face first into the concrete. Whew. The building superintendent is in the pit. Is in the pit, too. There's a splotch on the stairwell where Duchance rammed him face first into the concrete. Upstairs, the building is deserted. The apartments used to be full of illegals. Okay. Above the arcade, the apartments used to be full of illegals. Crammed in bunks, 10 to an apartment. All of them have vanished. All have vanished. Oh yeah, let's see. All have vanished, taking the Funghua chicken bus to Boston or Philly. Above the arcade, the apartments used to be full of illegals, crammed in bunks, 10 to an apartment. Above the arcade, the apartments used to be full of illegals, crammed in bunks, 10 to an apartment. All of them have vanished. Some took the Funghua chicken bus to Boston. Will they go to Montauk? Where? All right. That's the worst city in Long Island. It better not be Brooklyn. Worst town on the island. All right, let's. Hempstead. Oh yeah, Hempstead's pretty shitty. Manhasset. Oh, fucking Syosset. Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so that guy is being some of these people are being facetious. But I'm just so 3 Long Island towns. Hold on. Norfolk and Suffolk County. Crime in Long Island. All right, here, what do we got? We can't find any data. Oh, well, that's annoying. Oh, no, just spot crime is shitty. 19th most. Long Island City. Huh. Gore covered Velcro. Oh, I like. Ooh. Velcro is like a good. Let's see if that works. Folding the first boy into origami and pulling the next apart like Velcro. Ooh, oh yeah, that works. Because there's also like a there's a sound component to Velcro, and it's slightly unpleasant. Like a lot of people don't like the sound of tearing Velcro, as is there's a classic Seinfeld Velcro wallet bullshit. Shh. I like that we're using Arcade Fire here. Just a shout out to a band that I don't think I even like. Yeah, Velcro is a good suggestion. Hold on, I'm gonna give. Oh, hold on. Let me see if you're already on there. What we named you. Oh, I can't see the fucking scoreboard. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Yeah, I had to reboot a couple different times to get the. I figured out the problem actually, where I was having this issue where one of my sources wouldn't appear in OBS. So this is, I don't know, like if you stream out there, this may pop up to you at some point there. My source, I kept having to restart OBS to get one of my camera sources to show up. And usually the problem there is what it wound up being, which is that if you have a source twice in two different scenes, one of the scenes can kind of like steal focus. So it's just important not to have copies of video capture sources, because video capture equipment like webcams and in my case capture cards and so forth can only be in use by one like system process at a time. Oh no, this is the first point for Skip Donahue. All right, there we go. So you just got a point. So if you look at yourself right here, you can see that you are now on the scoreboard with one editing point. Congratulations on your first editing point. You'll catch up to Spathywa in no time. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I really like that suggestion. Because it really does, it not only, like I was going down like the burrito angle there, but like Velcro is a pretty good idea. I like it quite a bit. The building superintendent is with them, floating face down in the pit. There's a splotch on the stairwell where Duchance rammed him face first into the concrete. The apartments above the arcade used to be filled with illegals crammed in 10 to a room. Now they're vacant. How would you get to... what's another city that starts with B? Bainbridge, Bakersfield, Baldwin Park. So there's Baltimore. There's Bayonne, Boston, Buffalo. Yeah, let's add Buffalo. I like that they're all bees. That was amazing right there. Everyone vanished. They fled on the Funghua chicken bus to Buffalo, or Boston, or Baltimore. The farther, the better. Like it. Wait, which is... Hold on. Let's find out. I think Buffalo is further than Boston, but I could be wrong. So 381 miles. And yeah, wow, Buffalo is really far fucking over there. Manhattan, New York. And then... So 381 miles to Buffalo. So Boston is... Yeah, just 212 miles to Boston. And Baltimore... I want to say it's like 300 miles. Baltimore. So Baltimore is... How fucking far is it, ass nuts? It's 191 miles. Okay. So it should be Baltimore, then... let me see here. The farther the better. The farther the better. There's no comment there. Spathywell might disagree. The apartments above the arcade used to be filled with illegals crammed in 10 to a room. Now they're all vacant. They're all vacant now. Everyone has vanished. Oh, I don't like vacant vanish. Everyone has disappeared. They fled on the Funghua chicken bus to Baltimore, or Boston, or Buffalo. The further, the better. $6,000 in ambulance trips? Can't drive a car because of that. Used to use an ambulance as an Uber. 15 to 12 mile trips that almost cost $1,000. The fuck are you doing? Nigga, you spun out of control. Stick it at the courts and tell them, God, yeah, this boy is going supernova right here. We're gonna watch him flame out live here on the editing stream. I can't wait to take that shower. I'm gonna shave too. But nothing can be worse than that awful smell drifting up the stairwell. The nightmares that get worse every night. So de facto is de facto, I think. So Skip Donahue says, it's better to burn out than to fade away. My, hey, hey. I like that during the editing of this wretched fucking Duchance scene, which is just horrible. We have somebody like turning themselves inside out in the chat. It's very apropos. Everyone is looking for an excuse to get away, visiting relatives they haven't seen in years, taking sudden vacations they can't afford. The old are repelled, the young are enticed. The old are repelled and the young are enticed, drawn towards the strange orbit of the Chinatown dreams. Yeah. Oh, are we seeing a picture of the meth sushi extravaganza? All right, where is this fucking thing? Let me see. I don't see it. Was that on fucking IRC? Uh... well, I want to see the picture of the sushi, but I don't know where the fuck it's at. And that's also kind of distracting from the work of the day. Oh, it's on Discord? All right, let me take a look at that Discord. I think it's probably on the politics Discord. Yeah, I don't see where this shit is. I don't even know where the fuck it's not on my Discord. It's not on. Maybe it's on the Joe Rogan Discord. Seeing Tim Pool, the dim fool. All right, whatever. Friends or messages of the load Discord. All right, hold on, let me take a look. I don't see any fucking. There's nothing in the fucking load Discord. What you talking about? All right, I probably have you blocked or something because you're insane. This is so distracting to me. Like I really I'm gonna have to start ignoring you or something. You just keep sidetracking me, man. Nothing personal. It's just fuck. I'm trying to do a job here. All right, let me get back to it. Sucked into the singularity. I just did a line of coke. Oh, this is some real shit right here. And Jordan O is already getting drunk. It's like 10 in the morning. What fucking time is it right here? Fucking wilding out here. I'll be drinking. Wait, there's a gif of a dog? I gotta fucking see that. No, it looks just like Hitler. That's not a gif of a dog. Alright, oh, hold on. Here's the dog gif. No, it looks like a headbanging sloth. Man, this is why we don't ever get anything done on Saturdays. Just me getting fucking distracted. Now, do chance. Oh, he's Australian too. That makes so much more fucking sense. These fucking drongos, man. I don't know what is in them, but Australians are like the most prolific shit posters of all time. Literally, like no other nation can compete with the sheer volume and tenacity of their shit posting. And they're always doing it at like weird hours too, because they're on the ass end of the world. Yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense to me that this guy is Australian. Shooting stars, burning up in flames. I should have guessed it from the Tigris River, but I consider myself American. But yes, well, you're an Aussie shit poster at heart. People are departing in droves, taking sudden vacations they can't afford, showing up on the doorsteps of relatives they haven't seen in years. Coke is making my right lung feel fucked. My left kidney has this weird popping electric feel. My left hip feels dislocated when I walk, hip joint. My left eye feels like it's bulging, but it's just red and cement. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic drug. Where can I get more of that? Oh, oh, yeah. I don't want no fucking part of that whole thing there. I've never fucked around with cocaine. I've never wanted cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine. I just like I fooled around with Ritalin for a little bit. I managed to get myself one of those prescriptions for it because I was just so unfocused with the writing. As you can see, I'm like fairly easily distracted. And I was like, oh, this is great. I'm writing huge amounts of stuff and everything. But when I went back and looked at the writing, it was all garbage. Just all these fucking pointless details, no emotion. Just so like coffee is all I really fuck around with anymore. And from time to time I'll have a drink. But you can do coke once. Can't feel my right thigh. Colombian coke. CIA would rather keep you as an asset. Uh yeah, I don't want to fuck around with anything that I could get addicted to, You know what I'm saying? And I definitely would get super duper addicted. Like that's my game plan for if I ever get really sick, just go hog wild on drugs. But I'm gonna wait until I don't have any more, because like as soon as you start in with the drugs, your books are done. Fucking look at Stephen King, Jesus. Uh, he managed to have like something of a redemption arc. He put out some good writing after he got like super whacked on drugs, but there's a lot of bullshit in that catalog, man. A lot of bullshit. Um, yeah, like I do a lot of caffeine though, so I can't sling stones. But everyone can feel that something is wrong, but no one wants to be the first to mention it. So this is kind of like one of the interesting and like intrinsic parts of the Kaiser Duchance character is that everybody doesn't want to talk about him. Like people don't want to look at him. There's like sort of like an intrinsic revulsion to this character. Everybody's like, ooh, something's fucking wrong with that dude. Which I like. I like that he has like a kind of wave of mutilation surrounding him. Hell yeah. All right. 12-hour energy. So George Washington is departing for like the third or fourth time here. Yeah, good luck, man. Don't fucking burn your heart out, right? You know, like take a break after this because you're riding pretty high, homie. Enjoy the cocaine and get some sleep afterward if you can. 8 hours from now. Yeah, don't fucking die on us if you can help it. Yeah, so this is the villain for sure, and he's like a little bit cartoonish, really. Like we try to get away from. I don't write good villains in general. My characters are usually pretty villainous already. But I like drugs because I'm not a fan of reality, and I don't have to worry about getting addicted because I already am. So no downside, really. Hell yeah, hell yeah. It's good to know where you at. I wonder if you can hear that. All right, that's more weird shit. So I will tell you already that what I can feel working on this chapter is that we're doing a lot of telling here. This is like pretty much all exposition. And we're trying to like plaster over the fact that this is all exposition with like a lot of fancy language and like jive and so forth. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But I will tell you already that I know that tomorrow we need to retake a look at this chapter. But I still think we're getting some good work done here. As the citizens depart, more lost boys arrive. They're drawn into the strange orbit of the Chinatown dreams and sucked into the singularity. Discipline problems and juvenile delinquents. Special ed and subsidized housing. Dropouts and burnouts. Repeat offenders. I love that, yeah. Discipline problems and juvenile delinquents. Special ed and subsidized housing. Dropouts and burnouts. Repeat offenders. The misspent youth of the city, drawn into the ruins of Chinatown Fair to be enslaved or destroyed. Love that. Oh, that is such like a fucking gangster line. And I'm glad that we have something fucking happening here. Because it was like, the chapter was looking a little bit janky. No, what exactly? Hold on. Gasoline is a solvent, but that doesn't quite work. So, alright, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Cool. Let me see. I am here to speak the truth, brother. I need TRT in my life. I will grow hair where MTW can't. Yeah, I'm old enough that I should start fucking thinking about TFT or TRT or something like that. I don't know, like my dick still works. So that's the point where I would consider that TR Tenus. TR Tina. Let me see. Hold on. What did people call up and talk about yesterday? Oh fuck, I can't even remember. Hmm. Yeah, sorry for the delay here. Okay. Bring me gasoline. The three boys shamble through the door in search of petrol. The others watch them leave, envious of the emptiness on their faces. 3 more boys are selected. Motor oil. Hody, 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 ho. The selects scurry away through the door, eager to escape. The selects scurry away through the door. The selects scurry through the door, eager to escape Duchance's presence. Not all of them will make it back. Some get caught trying to steal, some get shot or beaten, some of them simply burn out. Out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Be 1 second. Yeah, that's important. Fuck. I'm still gonna make it through this chapter though. Wait, so hold on. Bunch from Ronnie Dobbs right here. Start stacking. Deca D Boy. So the juice is loose in Tampa. Tom Brady killing hookers with OJ. Is that really fucking happening? Okay. Those are the lucky ones. The select scurry through the door, eager to escape DeChance's presence. Not all of them will make it back. Some get caught trying to steal, some get shot or beaten, some of them simply burn out. There's a point where their brains simply can't take it anymore. Simply can't bear anymore. They hit the ground convulsing and the life spills out of their eyes. They don't see, they don't talk, they don't even tremble, and they never will again. When it happens in the arcade, DuChance simply discards them into the flooded stairwell. Uh... Those are the lucky ones. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so this used to be so much shittier. We did significant rewriting in the rewrite here, and it's a lot better than it used to be. Uh, Duchance dispatches him on mission after mission, and he always comes back. He's never captured, and his circuits never fry. The last 2 days feel like 2 years. So, is this really 2 days? When does he go? Yeah, it's been 2 days. Because it was day 1 where he went back to the arcade, and there was like the massacre. Hmm. Oh, there are two, uh, let's see. The keys Matthew holds. That fistful of keys goes to a stolen panel truck illegally parked in front of the arcade. There are no ticket writers left in Chinatown, hardly any cops at all. Just the bare minimum to keep people from breaking windows and taking things. The police ride around in their cruisers trying to be visible, but they don't leave their patrol cars. They know something is wrong. Everyone in lower Manhattan can feel it, the rotten vibration in the air. The closer...
There's broken glass everywhere. They're hurling bottles. They're kicking over trash cans and setting fires in dumpsters. It's only beginning. It's only beginning. Strangers hurry past each other, careful not to make eye contact. Every confrontation. Strangers hurry past each other, careful not to make eye contact. Every confrontation turns violent. Bump into someone and they pull a knife. Honk at an intersection and get a brick through the windshield. Everyone's on edge. No one has slept. And it's getting worse. Heedy, 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 hee. The man in gray is hungry. The 777 that hit JFK is just an aftertaste now. A still squirming morsel caught beneath those gleaming white teeth. Not nearly enough. It's not enough. It's never enough. DeChance points to Matthew and the keys to the truck tumble from his hand. A low moan rises from the mouths of the lost boys. Until it's a chorus, every voice crying out in pain. Their screams squeal like radio static, all the way to the rafters. One by one, their eyes roll back and the visions begin. The nightmares of crane operators and pipe fitters, welders and riggers, fed into the lost boys, each living through a different dream. Collapsing tunnels and bending girders, the sudden Groden lurch. At last, the man in gray sees what he wants. In the dreams of a borer operator, he finds a storage locker in the 7th Avenue extension, plastered with warning signs. With a collective sob, the dreams drain away and they wake. Wow, this is a serious fucking chapter. Dream machine. They're dirty, they're hurt, they're hungry and afraid. For a moment, they're all staring at the man in gray, hoping one per... No one does. They look up to Matthew, but he's already headed for the door, ready to do his master's bidding. From the floor, Thirsty watches Matthew go. It's so much worse if you fight it. The man in gray swivels around to face Gabriel, smiling his hollow-eyed grin. Poor men, poor men. Oh, goddamn. Yeah, this is a chapter needs work. Chapter needs another pass. And we're going to stop here. But holy fuck. Yeah, this is way creepier than it used to be. I feel like we did a much better job of, yeah, this is like a little horrifying right there. All right, let me see what we got here. So it's chapter 41. Yeah, we didn't get through many words here. So this is 1447 words. Yeah, I'm happy that we got through that. Chapter 41, 1447. It's not too bad. And let me see how long it took. Okay, so it looks like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Not too bad for being beset by coke-headed rambling and my own, like, being wild out. All right, so 2 hours and 15 minutes. All right, good job, everybody. Thanks for being a part of this whole deal. We had a good day 43 here. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the weekend. I'm thinking about, like, taking a motorcycle trip or something. Let me see what the weather's going to be like, and then we'll head out of here. All right, everybody. Good luck today. Have a fun time, and thank you for being a part of the editing stream. It feels like we're making progress, and feels like we're doing good work. Ooh, chapter 42 is going to be Poncho, and this is the start of day 3. So we made it through 2 of the 7 days here. That's pretty solid. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. So this is going to be Wednesday, October 10th, 2006. Whew. Fucking sweating it. All right. So let me